Question is, are you ready? Let me talk to you.
I will give you a show like you have never, ever seen before. Why? Because I can.
What do you guys want to talk about? And I am that damn good.
I am the B-E-S-T.
And the color red in a world full of black and white. I am the eater of worlds. Yeah, to get some love. Acknowledge me. The champ is here. But to be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here. Hey, yo. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to another episode of PCW, Podcast Championship Wrestling. I am your host, Wayne, also known as Semi-Dry Chicken. And man, we are like 45 days away, I believe, from WrestleMania. And, we got to make that pit stop right before WrestleMania. There's the Elimination Chamber, and that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about our predictions going into this pay-per-view. And you know what? We're going down under. All right? It's going to be in Australia. So, let me bring out that commentary team here, because I can't do this alone. Here we go. Dre, welcome back.
Yo, what it do, PCW crew?
Dude, if you were in the Elimination Chamber, what do you think you'd want to start off the match, or do you think you'd be one of the people locked in one of the pods?
Oh, no, I'd want to be in one of the pods. You don't want to start off the match because then you got to be there the entire time. That's more people you have to eliminate. Sit in one of the pods. Maybe you get lucky and somebody gets eliminated before you have to come out there. Fewer people you got to beat up with or fight, and then you get to have your own moment. You get to make an entrance. Everybody gets to count down towards you. You get to come in there, ball full of energy, fighting a whole bunch of other tired people, and you get to show out. Kind of like what Montez Ford did last year when he had his moment in the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah,
come out there just straight shot out of a cannon.
I always think of moments where the guys that you have a lot of beef with, they just stand in front of your pod and wait for you to come out too. That's another one that sucks. It's like when they're waiting for you, they know you're gonna come out at some point. But hey, where's this guy at? Hold on, let me get him in here.
Yeah, you don't even know me. Yeah, you don't even know me. You don't even know me. Yeah, you don't even know. These 16 bars cost 16 cars. Kiss these balls, bitch, we stars. Fuck that shit, you ain't hot like Prince. I don't got a little shine, but not like this. Time crumbles when a jet black M5 rumbles.
Doyle.
Oh, it's me. It's the Doyle. And let's put another shrimp on the barbie. God, that's probably so patronizing. I apologize, Australians.
It's okay.
That's like whenever anybody meets me and they go, "Oh, where do you pack the car? Do you pack it in Harvard Yard?" And I say, "No, you can't. They'll tell you to Medford or Revere. You don't want to go to Revere."
Oh, man.
See? You know what it's like. Yeah, you pass it on to others.
Well, yeah, shit rolls downhill, right? They're downhill, if you know what I mean.
So I heard it was like a 20-hour flight to Australia for these guys. That's crazy. I couldn't do 20 hours on a flight. Nope.
I mean,
Yeah, I've always wanted to go there, but it takes so fucking long to get there.
Right.
It's like if you're gonna go, you might as well stay for a month. Like, and there's like any number of millions of things that will kill you in Australia, right?
That's the part I was waiting for.
Koalas have chlamydia, apparently.
Yeah,
Dude,
I want
really?
no parts of Australia.
Oh, dude, koalas with chlamydia. That's fucking scary. Oh, look at this.
Looks like a beautiful place.
Drew McIntyre's doing some great internet troll work.
Dude, the best.
He put a tweet out about how, I guess, chlamydia is rampant in koala bears, and then there's a picture of LA Knight holding a koala bear.
Oh, dude. Yeah, he's just owning it right now. Yeah, and you know what though, Drew's been on. Like,
He had a video about like, don't forget to work out your triceps.
Dude,
After Punk hurt himself.
I like this though. I like the jabs he's taking at CM Punk. Like, this could be like a long thing. Like, so like the rivalry is still boiling, until he comes back. So like when he does come back, he has a fresh, feud right off the bat. I think that'd be great. So we got to keep Drew McIntyre and CM Punk feud hot and on the burner.
Oh yeah, he's gonna troll the crap out of him the whole time he's out. Especially considering CM Punk doesn't appear to be going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah,
I imagine he'll be part of the PLE pre-show crew and all that other stuff, giving his commentary, because they don't want people to forget about him while he's out.
Fun fact, guys, we have had some downloads in Australia, and I'm trying to think, was it like a specific episode? Like, did we review something that they were in Australia before? Because sometimes I get curious, like, I wonder where they've been downloading from. And there's a few that were in Australia. I'm like,
well, we just lost those thanks to Doyle.
I was gonna say, you should have told me that before I made fun of Australia. I meant people from New Zealand. They're the worst, not Australians. Australians are wonderful. People from New Zealand.
Dude, like I said, I would love to go there, but yeah, the flight, 20 hours. You got to. I always tell Andrea, like, if we ever have to go anywhere, like, on a flight, because I'm deathly scared of flying. I was like, listen, you're going to have to trank me like an animal, and, I don't know, put it in some peanut butter like a dog, like, whatever it is, like a pill, like, but I got to be out. Like, I just don't want any part of the flying. Nope. Not for me.
Yeah, the flight I'm not worried about. I mean, most of the time you would just sleep or watch a movie or do something to kill time. Yeah. But, I mean, you can kill time on a flight like that. It's getting there. And like Doyle alluded to earlier, it's way too much shit in Australia that wants to kill you. It can do it really easily. Right. I don't want no parts of none of that shit.
Yeah, I heard you shouldn't go swimming in the water in Sydney. Like, they talk about... I saw a TikTok video about how, just dirty the water is. And I was like, hey, don't be ashamed. We have New Jersey. We have the same thing. We have the same problem. There's areas around here that it's like, no, you shouldn't swim there. No.
Yeah, dirty water I ain't worried about. Oh. Yeah, they got beaches. I'm pretty sure if they hop in the water and they live in, they fine. It's the critters and the creatures. I don't need to be waking up in the morning and some daggone 13-inch spider is staring me in the face like, hey, I'll kill you now. If you don't mind.
I was waiting for you to say that the dingo ate my baby.
Yes.
Shit. So yeah, dude, this is going to be in Australia. On the poster, it's just Rhea, which I like. I mean, that's the one that I saw. That's the one that's on the wiki. That's the one I'll be using for the thumbnail for the episode. Yeah, I like. I try to pull those for the thumbnail for the pre, and then the post. I kind of make one up, whether it has to pertain to what happened during the pay-per-view, because or a famous meme that came from the pay-per-view. It's always a good thumbnail.
There's always one, at least.
Yeah, right. There's always one, because right now when you just put in for the Elimination Chamber for 2024, there's I don't know, like 3 or 4 different types of photos, so it's really hard to pick from. But afterwards,
there's a few photos of the stadium floating around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought like, oh, maybe I'll just like stadiums, and like, nah, people won't understand that. I'm like, that's just a building. I don't know what it looks like.
Yeah.
I like this idea.
It's the first time they've been in Australia since October of 2018.
Yeah.
I guess they apparently don't want to take that long ass flight too often either.
No, not at all. I saw they released that WWE Experience. Is that in Saudi that they released that? Where is that? Did you guys see?
I believe, yeah. There's some kind of building or museum or something in Saudi Arabia that I will probably never go to.
I'm gonna vent here for a little bit because
Right.
I know we should be talking about the Elimination Chamber, but when I saw this WWE Experience get posted, right? I saw what they have going on inside, and I just commented, like, why can you not just do the same thing for us here in the States, but the Hall of Fame? Like, why can we not get a physical Hall of Fame building where you guys have?
We're
all
getting
the old
something.
titles?
They're giving us WWE Con or whatever the fuck they're calling that shit at WrestleMania this year.
Oh, they're calling it the World, which I think is hysterical because wasn't that their Times Square restaurant that failed spectacularly?
Really?
I'm pretty sure that
was it called the World? It might have been.
Yeah.
I forgot they had that little Times Square spot.
Yeah.
Back in the old Sunday Night Heat.
Yeah, I was
days.
gonna say Sunday Night Heat used to emanate from there pretty often.
Back when Sunday Night Heat, it was actually worth a shit.
It's just like, and when I used to watch the episodes where they would go through, like, certain wrestlers would go through, like, the WWE warehouse, and they were like, oh, look at this. This is from, like, the Mankind Rock match. This one's from the Triple H Shawn Michaels match. This is from an Undertaker match. And I'm just like, why is this stuff not on display? Why is it all in a warehouse?
Yeah, I think you can expect to see some things like that at the World.
I do too. I expect to see that because it's like money just sitting there wasting away. Like,
Yeah, but like the big question is where do you put it?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's probably like overhead because then you either have to buy a building and convert it into a WWE museum, or you build something and convert it, and then try to make it a must-see place. Like, where would you put it? Do you try to make it its own thing, like how Canton has the NFL and Cooperstown has Major League Baseball and shit like that? Do you do it like that, or do you try to just fit it in the midst of all the other tourist attractions in some other city? Like, do you put it in Orlando and try to, be there, or do you put it up in Connecticut? Who the fuck's going to Connecticut just to see the WWE Hall of Fame? Nobody. Do you put it out west, or like? I mean, there's a lot involved into it, and then have enough stuff there, which, okay, yeah, you hit the nostalgia kick, but it's going to take more than just that. So I think to make it financially worth it and make it something that could actually be profitable and sustainable.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they've discussed it. I can't imagine that it's never come up.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because, like, with all that stuff that was in the warehouse, it's just like an old person just hoarding shit, right? And that's just Vince is hoarding shit. It's like, Grandpa, like, please, we gotta throw out all this stuff or sell it. Oh, it's worth money. Well, let's keep it here. It's your inheritance. Like, no.
Yeah, I think a lot of stuff didn't get saved, or because who thought that Macho Man's glasses would be when anyone would give a shit in 2024.
Right. But I'm sure, like, there's family and friends that would donate stuff, or I mean, like, dude, like, wouldn't it be cool to be in a museum? It's like, hey, get your picture taken next to, like, the old SmackDown fist,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like,
Like, I think I've heard Foley talk about how, like, he just doesn't have a lot of stuff saved because he never thought, like, oh, somebody would want my shirt that I was wearing when they put me in a dumpster, threw me off the stage, or whatever, It never occurred to him that anyone would. I think
anybody would want the original Sacco.
But you know what, though? Like, I went...
Well, things have changed now. Like, you see the same thing from, like, Mickey Mantle or whatever. There's not much stuff left because he wasn't saving. Nowadays, every pair of socks every glove, every shoe, everything gets saved and donated to charity and auctioned off and whatever. And I think they just didn't do that up until fairly recently.
Yeah.
Last year,
then you got to think about the factor of it's WWE, so there's going to be an inherent bias towards it. So it's only going to want to show the good stuff, and pro wrestling is more than just WWE. And now I think if there was like some sort of collective pro wrestling Hall of Fame that acknowledged all of it, that could go all the way back to the territories and WWE, and also, you know, other promotions like NWA stuff, even AEW stuff that maybe some point be worth a damn, then that would be something good. Like how the Basketball Hall of Fame isn't just NBA. It's, you know, basketball as a whole, whether it's NBA or college hoops or anything, is all incorporated into that. So
yeah, but then you got to get WWE to play nice with everybody, and they don't really.
And that's what's never going to happen.
It's weird because, you know, just last month we saw a TNA talent on WWE TV. You know, we saw, I think, Jericho, while he was affiliated with AEW, did Steve Austin's podcast, which is affiliated with WWE. But I guess Kevin Nash, it came out this week, had to ask Hunter for permission because he has a Legends contract to go to Sting's last match,
and they said no.
So it's like you can get favors from other people, but you can't do them for. That's kind of fucked up, I think.
It is super fucked up. But if anything, and it's not even like Sting's a guy who's like dunked on WWE all that hard. Like, he actually worked with y'all for a while, for a couple years. Y'all did him dirty, but he still worked with y'all.
Fucked him.
Yes, I mean, of somebody of his caliber, you think they could give a pass to?
Yeah, I mean,
we ain't talking about like Ernest the Cat Miller's last match.
Kevin Nash, that is. I don't think he was even asking to be part of another company broadcast. He just wanted to be there.
Yeah,
they were like, "No, you can't do that.
Show up, be backstage, sit in the crowd, watch it. No big deal."
Remember the this was years ago. You remember the Highlanders? One of them was maybe dating somebody in TNA, like the original OG back in the day.
Yeah, it wasn't like Rory or some
TNA.
shit.
And they showed him the crowd, and I think he got fired.
He got fired right away.
He didn't ask to be on TV.
That sucks, right?
What's that?
I said that fucking sucks. Like, you go to watch something basically that you're into, that you do for a living, and you're not doing it. You're just there as a fan, enjoying what you do for a living. And it's like, no, we can't have you here. You're fired.
And you know, it's probably just because it's fucking AEW. Like, if this was Sting's last match on an independent scene, they probably have no problem with it. Because look at all the people who showed up for Ric Flair's last match, which was just at an indie show. Nobody had any issue with that. But because this is AEW and it's going to be on a pay-per-view, they don't. As much as I understand why WWE said no, I still hate the fact that they said no. They don't want AEW trying to get any kind of boost whatsoever off of talent that they have under contract. Because you know damn for certain, all the people that show up, AEW is absolutely going to try to highlight who's all in the crowd. Look at all these people who came out to see Sting's last match. And somebody like Kevin Nash being in the crowd, they would absolutely put him on camera. But it shouldn't fucking matter. And yet to WWE it does, and that's unfortunate.
Oh, I agree.
So I wanted to rattle off, I had some notes here. I know we're kind of trailing off from the chamber, but we'll get there. Trust me, there's only 4 matches. So, like, just in this year alone, since January, this is less than 60 days, right? I'm just going to run off a couple of things that have happened. Just some highlights. We get the Vince McMahon allegations. Vince McMahon resigns from WWE and TKO. Vince becomes federally investigated. Brock Lesnar is removed from everything in WWE. Seth Rollins suffers multiple injuries. Jade Cargill makes her WWE debut. Naomi returns from Impact Wrestling to WWE. Jordynne Grace appears in the Rumble from Impact Wrestling. Bayley wins the Rumble. Damage Control breaks out. Cody Rhodes wins his second straight Rumble. CM Punk makes his WWE in-ring return. And then he's injured and misses up to 6 months. The Rock is named to TKO's board of directors. Then The Rock also challenges Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes trends worldwide for a week straight. And Mercedes Monroe to AEW is announced. Booked an entire venue for her, basically. That's just all with in less than 60 days. We're not even through February.
Yeah, let's not leave out Rock slapping the dog shit out of Cody Rhodes in Vegas.
Yeah, we had our first, I would say, real press conference. Real, one worth turning into, I don't know.
It was a non-wrestling event.
Yeah, and you know what, though,
really a press conference.
I'm
okay. They did it perfectly, right? They set it up the week of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
There was all kinds of cameras and eyeballs there. They actually did do a pretty good job with that.
Yeah, somebody was out there playing chess.
Now, would you guys like to see something like this for WrestleMania, a press conference again, right before Mania? Or going forward, do we want to see press conferences? I'm not saying
no.
I could do without it, but I think we're in for more of them as the merger begins to merge even further. And we've already seen, and especially since Kevin Dunn has left, I think we've seen quite a lot of changes from a production standpoint. Anyway, the lighting is totally different.
I think not red.
Yeah, I think it's much better. It looks much better. You're starting to get these. They're not video packages, but right before commercial break, they'll have this little segue type of thing. You know what I'm talking about? Where they'll
segues and little vignettes and stuff that they do now.
Yeah, those are kind of cool, right? But I think press conferences is one of those things that's going to be more and more prevalent. I'm not a huge fan, but sometimes they're kind of interesting. That particular event was pretty interesting. You know why they did it. But I think we're going to be seeing more of that. And these ridiculous post pay-per-view press conferences where some of the people are in character and some of them aren't, and some of them are sort of in character, and Hunter sort of answers a question but not really, and
for
a lot more of that.
Hurst Helmsley, Triple H, Paul Levesque. It's so many. I don't even know. What do we call him now? Triple H, Paul Levesque. I guess it's when he's on press conferences and it's serious stuff. It's Paul.
I think it's pretty much Paul Levesque now, given that they're not even calling him Triple H when they call him to the ring anymore. They're literally saying Paul Levesque, just past
or Paul Triple H.
Triple H Levesque. Yeah. So, but obviously fans are always going to call him Triple H, just like we still call Dwayne Johnson The Rock. Yeah. So, that's not going to change. In regards to the press conferences, clearly the post PLE press conferences aren't going anywhere, and they're mostly forgettable. They're pretty much something that if you think something worth a damn is going to happen, then they're worth tuning into. Otherwise, you can pretty much catch the cliff notes on YouTube or something the next day in somebody's review video. The only one that's really I felt has been a must watch as of late was the last one after the Rumble, and that had nothing to do with the Rumble itself. It was because of the Vince allegations that came out. Well, and everybody just wanted to see how Triple H was going to respond to that. Other than that, the post PLE press conferences are forgettable.
Well, you can get some things that stick around every now and then. I think Yeet came from one of them, right? Or gained popularity.
Yeah, I'm not saying that something won't come from that could be worth a damn, because we all remember Cody and Jay being drunk as fuck at the damn press conference after winning the tag titles. So yeah, some interesting or some viral moments can come out of it. Mm-hmm. But is it one of those things where, okay, the PLE's over, I have to tune into the press conference to see what's going to happen? No. Those are mostly forgettable, like I said, except for, or things you can mostly miss out on and not feel like you missed anything, except for the Rumble one, which again, everybody felt like they had to tune into that one because of the Vince allegations that came out. If those things did ratings, if they tracked what the viewership or whatever was on those, I'm pretty sure that post Rumble one is substantially higher than any other PLE. post press conference.
I think that is an excellent hypothesis.
Right. Now, as far as the pre-PLE press conferences, I agree with Doyle that, yeah, we're probably going to see them more in the future. I just hope that they use it sparingly and only use it when they have a reason to. Because just doing a pre-PLE press conference just for
if you don't have The Rock there.
Yeah, like doing them for shits and giggles or just try to force storyline progression into these things just for the sake of it, eventually it'll lose its effect and people will tune out.
Hey, if I want to see Natalya have a press conference against somebody, I'm going to see it.
Well, she has to be on a pay-per-view before she can be in the press conference for the pay-per-view. And we don't see her too often on Saturday.
Right.
No way.
There's a reason she entered the Rumble at number 1.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. All right, you guys want to dig into this and then we'll shoot the shit.
Yeah, well,
a
couple interesting things about Chamber.
Yeah,
this is the third Elimination Chamber in a row to be outside of the good old US of A.
Yeah.
In 2022, it was in Saudi, and of course last year it was in Montreal. And it's the first to be outdoors, which is kind of interesting also. The fourth Elimination Chamber pay-per-view ever. The first one was February 1st of 2010. Interestingly, in 2015, Elimination Chamber was the last pay-per-view, like strictly pay-per-view, before things went to the WWE Network for $9.99 a month. But it was first introduced in November 2002. It was, in fact, created by Triple H, although it was introduced in kayfabe by Eric Bischoff for Survivor Series of that year. The original chamber was manufactured in Colorado Springs and took about 6 to 8 weeks and cost $25,000. It was 16 feet high and 36 feet in diameter. Remember, it used to be the first version of the chamber was round. As were the chambers themselves, weighed 33,000 pounds, 22,000 of which was steel, and 2 miles of chains weighing 12,000 pounds themselves. It required a 50-foot, or I guess it still probably does, the new one, required a 50-foot flatbed truck, and it took 8 hours to construct once it was in the arena. And when not in use, it lives on a dock in Newark, New Jersey. Oddly enough, next time I pass through Newark, I'll have to look for it. But part of the problem with that original structure was that it didn't fit in every arena like a steel cage does.
Right.
So it kind of limited what they could do with it, where they could do it, and it actually led to the pay-per-view disappearing for a couple of years in the mid last decade. But in 2017, they redesigned it. Wayne, you apparently had a hand in that.
Yes, I did.
had Atomic Designs and Letitz, one of my favorite Pennsylvania place names. And that's the same chamber we know today. It's now square, as are the pods. Additionally, they've replaced a lot of the steel on the outside with some padding so that wrestlers stop fucking themselves up so badly. But it is much taller. It's oddly about 10 feet tall or 26 feet tall in its largest portion, but it's about 13,000 pounds lighter, and it fits in almost every arena. And getting back to the discussion about how long it takes to get to Australia, how in the fuck are they getting this Elimination Chamber over there? I wondered if are they just building a new one there? Like, I got to think of, like, they charge you if you go over 50 pounds in your luggage on a commercial flight. How the hell are they going to get 20,000 pounds worth of Elimination Chamber over to Australia?
I can only think of two things. I mean, given how far out they booked this one, it either was shipped over on a barge or some sort of they contracted out some sort of, I don't know, military bomber jet or something that could carry that kind of weight.
You would think, right?
Yeah. I don't know if the military itself does that or if there's some private company that maybe has like old retired military planes that they can use for that kind of stuff. Who knows? I would think probably more like a barge.
Yeah.
Sort of container.
I wonder how long that takes. How long does it take to sail the Elimination Chamber to Australia? That's just something I was thinking of. The pay-per-view is, of course, called No Escape in Germany because the word chamber has some certain connotations, let's just say, in Germany. There have been 32 Elimination Chamber matches. We'll get the 33rd and 34th on Saturday. Not surprisingly, number 5 and number 6 is where you want to be. We've had 8 winners from those slots, both of those slots. The one year that there was a 7th entrant, that entrant did not win. Triple H has the most wins with 4. His secret, well, besides inventing the match, 3 of his 4 wins came from the 5 spot. His other win came from number 3. Now, you'd think with all those wins, he'd have the most total eliminations, but he does not. His 7 eliminations is good for number 2 on the list, behind only Y2J6, Chris Jericho. He has 10 eliminations, which makes sense. He's tied with Randy Orton for the record for the most appearances in a chamber with 8. Randy will, of course, break that record on Saturday with his 9th. But both of them only won 1 time. As far as most eliminations in a single match, we have 2 people have done it 5 times. 5 eliminations in a single match, Braun Strowman and Shayna Baszler. However, Strowman did it the year there were 7 people in there, and he only eliminated 5. He did not eliminate the 6th. So Shayna Baszler is actually the only person that's ever had a clean sweep of a chamber match. It was kind of interesting. It didn't seem to do her career a hell of a lot of good.
Right.
But as for the rest of the ladies, Liv Morgan has the most appearances. She's been in every women's Elimination Chamber match, all 4 of them. But that'll obviously increase to 5 on Saturday. Oddly enough, no one. Well, I'm sorry, what?
I said reliable.
Yeah. Oddly enough, no one has been in 3 matches, and everyone that's been in 2 is either not with the company anymore. Sasha Banks, Mandy Rose is currently inactive. Alexa Bliss, Carmella, and Sonya Deville, or just not in the match. Asuka, Bayley, Natty, Nikki Cross, Sarah Logan. So even if Liv isn't in the match, the next Elimination Chamber or the next one, she's still going to have the record for the most appearances for quite a while. And we know both matches this year are for championship opportunities at Mania, but that wasn't always the case. The first 5 matches were for titles, and a full 2/3 of all Elimination Chamber matches have been for titles. But of the 11 matches for title shots, including the 2 on Saturday, 6 have been since 2022. So I think we're getting away from defending titles, although it happened last year with the U.S. title. I think we're mostly going to use this going forward for number 1 contenderships rather than titles. But one final stat for you, and maybe this doesn't bode well for whoever we end up picking to win these matches. I have a feeling we're going to have all the same picks, but maybe not. Out of the 9 title shots that have been earned in an Elimination Chamber, only 2 have gone on to win a title.
Only 2 Elimination Chamber winners have gone on to win the title.
Correct. For matches that were for a title shot, not that weren't for a title.
Right. Well, damn sure wasn't last year.
Do you remember what title was up for grabs last year? In the chamber?
Last
US
year?
title.
Yeah.
U.S. title in the men's match.
Yeah.
And the women's match was for a title shot.
Yeah, and not Carmelo Hayes. Montez Ford had a fucking great showing, and we were all set to be, this is the start of his push, finally. And
yep.
a year later, and we're still waiting.
Yep. And he actually had a believable concussion in that match because I damn sure thought he actually got his shit.
I think we all bid on that.
Yeah, we all bid on it until fucking Logan Paul came in and was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's get into this here. The first match they have on the card is a tag team match for the Undisputed Tag Team Championship. The Judgment Day, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, versus the New Catch Republic, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. The newly named Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. Horrible name. New Catch Republic. That doesn't roll off the tongue as
at all.
No, at all, dude. Like, I don't want a New Catch Republic shirt. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I don't like the whole idea of Pete Dunne went from like one group and then just left. the Brawling Brutes, and now he's with Tyler Bate. And this is what he does now.
Yep. Tag teaming up with the Tidy Whitey boy.
Yep. God dang it. Yeah, I mean, I don't see these guys. I see these guys putting on a good show, but I do not see them leaving. Listen, this card alone is very predictable, so it's going to be hard to be like, they might have a chance. No, there's no way they're walking away with tag titles here. No.
Ain't no maybes in this show at all.
I think we can agree across the board for this one. Am I correct, guys?
I disagree.
You disagree?
Go fuck yourself.
All right. Well, Doyle.
Well, first of all, I'm wondering if Triple H realizes that Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate are English, not Australian. I don't even know if he knows the difference. But I mean, the Judgment Day have just had such a fucking lackluster title reign. I mean, outside of that fun match they had with Sammy and KO, where they put the hockey jerseys on, they haven't done anything really.
Nope.
But meanwhile, you've got a kind of a handful of like a burgeoning little tag division going on underneath them. So yeah, I'm going to pick the upset just because I'd like to see an actual tag team vying for the tag belts instead of two thrown together upper mid card, lower main event guys. And yeah, I don't see any other real upset on this card, so I might as well pick one.
Yeah, it's like,
as you may have picked up, I am not super convinced that they're actually going to do it. It's more me picking them for the sake of picking an upset.
Right.
I mean, drop $5 on Vegas. You can fuck around and hit it big because damn sure some long ass. I'm pretty sure they got long ass odds.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see another real possibility for a swerve, or if you want to call it that. So
yeah, if there was going to be one on the show, this would be it. But I don't think it is, just because those guys are too new and they don't have anywhere near the momentum as some other people who have faced Judgment Day in the past, like notably the Creed brothers, who had a hell of a winning streak and then lost and have seemingly damn near disappeared into oblivion, but are still kind of around. And yeah, as nice as it would be to see Dunn and Tyler Bate upset and win the tag titles, so that way we could get some actual tag team competition going, that just doesn't seem to be the case.
That's just wishful thinking on my
It is, yeah. WWE just seems really set in having their titles on big names right now instead of having any actual competition at this point in time.
Yeah, I mean, like,
would love to see that change, but they seem to be perfectly content just having all the competition be in the undercard of people trying to challenge for the championships, but not any competition in terms of actually winning championships.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's just so many tag teams, but there's no team right now that presents a good storyline going forward. And I'm curious because, 45 days, we got WrestleMania. Like, what are you guys doing with this gold? Like, are we splitting it? Are we unifying it finally? Like, what are we doing? Like, it'll be a year. It'll literally be a year that you guys fucked around with these titles. Like, what are we doing? Like, are we...
Well, it'll be more than a year. How long ago did...
they won them at Mania.
No, last year Kevin Owens and Sammy won them at Mania.
Well, yeah, I meant...
But they've been unified for longer than that.
No, I meant with... you're right. But I meant with Judgment Day just holding them in general. But yeah, you're
Judgment Day, what they won them... Yeah, last year at Fastlane, was it?
No, WrestleMania they beat... oh, no, you're right.
No, it was Fastlane when they beat Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for them in the street fight match.
But, like, still, like, you made...
And then they lost them once to Cody and Jay for, like, 2 weeks.
Oh, I forgot. Even though I mentioned that earlier, I totally forgot about that.
We all forgot about that. Holy shit. Oh, my... But still, like, why can't we divide these belts, get new ones, or split them again? Like, just do something. I'm tired of seeing them being hoarded That's how
I feel like
it's
we've been having
they're
the same
recorded.
tag title conversation for
Oh my god!
Because
yeah.
we
we
have.
started the
But
podcast.
but
Because
now
we have.
but now we got different teams. Like I would like to see tag titles on the Creed brothers. I like to see them on DIY. Hell, I wouldn't even be surprised.
You know, I love fucking Pretty Deadly.
Yeah, Pretty Deadly.
Mhm.
Here's another wild one. I feel like they're gonna put the tag titles on R-Truth and Miz one more time. I swear to God, it's gonna happen.
I would mark out for that. I'd be here for that.
It's stupid. It's silly. The R-Truth situation with Judgment Day is like the only story going on forward with them, and just toss the Miz in there as a tag team partner, like, dude. And Damian is in that. You know, him and R-Truth have their story, and R-Truth has beef with all of Judgment Day. I don't know. That's just me trying to connect the dots here, string all over the map. But
If they do that at any point, the only time which for the record, I don't think they're going to do that. But if they were to do that at any point, the only place I could see that happening would be WrestleMania.
yeah,
Where if they were to put some final culmination to this R-Truth thing and give him a WrestleMania moment as the veteran, well, him and Miz,
yeah, both
as
of them.
two senior veterans of the locker room. If they were to give them a moment, I could see them challenging for the tag titles at WrestleMania and winning, and them being the ones to finally end Judgment Day's tag title reign.
Yeah,
But
I like
I don't
that,
know if I
but,
would put money on
R-Truth
it,
has
so.
never had a solo match, a one-on-one match at WrestleMania, and I hope that he gets one. And I guess maybe it won't be this year. Maybe it won't be ever.
Well, I don't know,
But,
man. John Cena isn't doing nothing, but that's his hero.
Yeah,
He's a
no, he
child
can't
of
fight
the
his
hero.
go-ahead hero.
I know he could always fight The Rock. I mean, like The Rock's not doing nothing, right? Apparently, well, we don't know anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, this match is pretty much set in stone. I'm sure they'll give us a good match. I'm sure.
Oh yeah, the match will be good.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the women's Elimination Chamber match for the Women's World Championship. It's for a match at the World Championship at WrestleMania. That's right. This one's going to have Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, a returning Liv Morgan, up-and-comer from NXT, Tiffany Stratton, returning former Impact Wrestling or TNA champion Naomi, and back from being out for a while.
A lot of returns.
Yeah, a lot of returns. A lot of star power here. I honestly think this is another one where the writing's on the wall. It's Becky Lynch. I mean, we're working towards Becky versus Rhea, right? That's the goal here. This is how it's done. I mean, I'm sure everybody's gonna put on a great show. I feel like the only other thing we might get out of this, besides some really good spots from like Liv Morgan, maybe. I expect Tiffany Stratton to maybe do like a moonsault off the top. I don't know, but I wonder if this is where Bianca Belair starts her slow heel turn. The frustration of not getting the Rumble, the frustration of not winning the Chamber. I wonder if this is where Bianca Belair, because I don't know where she goes from here, and I think slowly working that heel turn. No shaking of hands. She's not going to shake the winner's hand, because I think it's going to come down to Becky and Bianca, down to the last two. And I think Becky's going to get the best of Bianca, and I feel like there's going to be a handshake, and it's just Bianca's not going to take it. She's not going to want it. Dre, what are you thinking, man? What are your thoughts on this?
I don't think this is the start of Bianca's heel turn. I've kind of abandoned hope for that, because there was a moment where Bianca was being pretty sassy and seemed like she was heading that way after she lost her title and was trying to get her lick back and such. But now they seem to have fully locked her in as just being a babyface. So I don't think that we're necessarily going to get a turn towards of Bianca possibly teaming towards heel. because I don't know who's in this match that she could do something heelish against. Like, if she decides to ragdoll and stomp the fuck out of any women in this match, the fans will be cool with it. There's not really anybody in this match who's more over than her. And Becky Lynch is the only one that's really in this match that's on her level. Right. And she just beat the crap out of Becky Lynch. I mean, rivals. Now, maybe if Becky's in a post-match win and then she goes in and she runs back in the cage and beats the crap out of her, then maybe there'd be something there. But I don't see that happening, given that, as has already been stated, Becky is on a collision course with Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania, as if they didn't make that any more fucking obvious from the WrestleMania press conference. But so it wouldn't make much sense for her to turn heel or do anything like that against somebody like Becky Lynch when that program isn't slated to happen anytime soon, especially with them both being on separate shows. So I just don't know. You would think we could get something out of this match or tease towards something. And I agree with you. I don't know where Bianca goes after this match going into WrestleMania. She's certainly kind of just treading water at this point. And I damn sure don't think there's no way in hell they're going to have WrestleMania without Bianca involved. Mm-hmm. The way they're going to do that without one of their top baby faces in the company, period. So I just don't know where it comes about in this Elimination Chamber match. I think this might be just pretty standard fare. Just the women go out there and they show out and they tear the house down, and Becky Lynch comes out on top. I'm not even sure if it'll come down to Bianca and Becky, given that we thought that the Royal Rumble was going to come down to a predictable finish in terms of the final four competitors, and yet Bianca, I think, was eliminated earlier than expected. Jade was put out earlier than expected. Who was the final three? It was what? Becky, it was Bayley, Jade, Liv Morgan, and
Jade.
Was it Jade?
Yep.
Yeah, Jade Cargill.
They were the last three. Jade, Liv, and
because Liv took Jade
Bayley
Cargill out, and then Bayley took Liv out.
Liv did take Jade. That's right. I don't know why I thought somebody else took Jade out. I just remember Liv hanging on to somebody at the end. But yeah, I think just as a way to try to surprise us, I could almost see them eliminating Bianca, as Bianca being like the third or fourth one eliminated. Ooh, and then coming down to Becky Lynch and somebody else, and what they think is surprising us, but it actually just makes it even more predictable than we already believe it to be.
There was a Elimination Chamber match where Edge and John Cena and Rey Mysterio and I forget who else, a couple other wrestlers, Shawn Michaels I think may have even been in it, and Jericho, but they eliminated John Cena first, and he was the champion, I think. Like, I remember just everybody in the chamber just hitting their finisher on him one after another, and then Edge got him with the spear, and then everybody was shocked, like, because that was a shocking moment, like taking John Cena out first. Holy shit! I could totally see that.
The year Edge was in 2 chamber matches.
Yeah.
He lost the title, hit one of the titles in the first match, and he was the first eliminated in that match. So you knew you're getting a new champion, and then I forget who he took out to enter the second match, and he ended up winning the other title.
Yeah. Because I remember that he took Kofi Kingston out. And,
well, I was gonna say I thought it was Kofi, but I didn't want to say that.
Can you believe that though? Like losing the world title and winning, or whichever it was, winning. Losing one title.
I can't remember if he had the WWE title and then won the big gold belt or the other way around.
Yeah, either way, that was some pretty cool shit. I mean, it's rare that you get cool things like that happening all in one night. Like, there was a night that the Shield, all 3 members held the WWE title. I think like maybe it was like.
Oh yeah, somebody Rollins went in as champion, lost it to one of them, and then got cashed in by somebody else.
Yeah. I think
say all 3
Roman
of them
went in as champion. Seth Rollins beat him, I think, and then Dean Ambrose cashed in.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah. So that's crazy. But yeah, that could happen. Like we could see like them take Bianca Belair out like right in the get go in the beginning. It's like holy shit, like
yeah. I mean,
But that wouldn't be a holy shit moment though. Like if they did that, it would be like, oh, Becky's definitely winning.
No, well,
now,
I
yeah,
mean,
it's
like,
also like
Becky first.
If this were happening in Poughkeepsie or San Francisco or anywhere, you know, that might be a possibility. But are they really going to fly somebody 20 hours?
No.
Just to
you're
have
absolutely
them get
right
taken
about
out? You know what I mean? Like it's so much more of a pain in the ass, if you will, to set up something like that in Australia than it is to do it in Orlando or in Houston or wherever, you know, anywhere in the continental United States.
Yeah, but I mean, they're all there, so I mean, the booking is the booking. But yeah, I agree. It'd be, I won't see Bianca being that early of an eliminated being eliminated that early because again, if she's out, then you're just looking at what Becky versus Raquel, Liv, Tiffany Stratton, and
Naomi.
Yeah, Becky's definitely fucking winning. Yeah. The only shocking thing that could happen out of that is if Becky Lynch was the first one eliminated. Then it'd be like, oh.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We totally got this wrong. That's kind of like what I thought when Bayley came out third. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe I was dead wrong about this.
Yeah, then we'd be in a holy shit moment. We're like, okay, are they going to give us Bianca versus Rhea finally at WrestleMania? Or are they going with Liv and her revenge tour or something? Then it'd be compelling. But short of that, there's nothing really compelling, I don't think, that will happen in this match. It'll be a great match, but it will be pretty much by the numbers. Like you said, we're going to get the most beautiful moonsault from Tiffany Stratton, probably from the top of somebody's chamber. And all the other things, we'll probably get a dual power moment from Raquel and Bianca, where they're both holding somebody up for suplexes and staring at each other.
There'll be a tower. Maybe there won't be there'll be a tower of doom.
Oh no, there'll be a tower from the
top
bottom to the
chamber.
top rope and then to the chamber.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, looking at who I think. So I'm sorry. Did you pick you picked Becky Lynch?
Oh yeah. No, Tiffany Stratton for the win. Okay.
Yeah, Tiffany Stratton versus Rhea WrestleMania.
When I like to do with these matches, and I did the same thing with both, is just kind of go through the participants and start knocking off people that aren't going to win, right? So like no matter who wins Rhea versus Nia, it's going to be the winner of the chamber is going to face a heel. I guess Rhea's kind of more of a tweener, but a heel for our purposes here. So right off the bat, I disqualify Tiffany Stratton, but I disqualify her anyway because it's just too soon for her to be in that kind of high profile match just yet. I feel like Naomi hasn't been back long enough to really reestablish herself into the women's division. I think a good showing here by her would certainly help her in getting reestablished. But, you know, like the old saying goes, you don't have to go over to get over. So I think she might be the last eliminated or something like that. But I don't see her winning. You know, likewise, Raquel just came back, and there's really no story there other than she has a somewhat muscular back. You know, so I can pretty easily make a case for the other three. Liv has called out Rhea on TV. Like Naomi and Raquel, Liv is also just kind of returning, but at least there's some story there because she's returning for being injured by Rhea. Bianca and Rhea were both a big part of each other's NXT runs. They really haven't had a whole lot of interaction on the main roster, certainly not recently. And they're sharing the video game cover. So maybe there's some there.
And that's dream match potential right there. People have been wanting that match pretty much since those two were on the main roster. And I think it was, didn't they do the tease? No, it wasn't last year's Elimination Chamber. Maybe the year before, where they had a moment together where they almost teased like a potential confrontation because they were both in the Elimination Chamber match and they had the dual suplex moment where they were holding somebody up and staring at each other.
Yeah, that sounds right. But I feel like they've all but given away that Becky Lynch is going to win this, right? I think we all come to the same conclusion. So, like, unless there's some major swerve in store, which we kind of alluded to, that's the result I expect. I will, however, present a possible scenario, and that is if Nia almost beats Rhea, and if Becky wins the chamber, I think Nia may have a case for inserting herself into that Mania match somehow. I don't know if she just comes out and starts wrecking people until Adam Pearce says, "Fine, you can be," or something. Because she just beat the shit out of Becky.
Yeah, she
right?
won clean.
She beat the shit out of everybody
So
on Raw.
I just feel like they've got so many moving parts surrounding, well, at least 3 of the 4 world title matches at WrestleMania. I got to figure at least one of these is going to become a multi-person match somehow. So yeah, speaking of Jade, back to her, I did expect to see her here. I didn't expect her to win, and I guess that's why she's not in the match. They don't want her to be pinned or submitted, which she would have to be to not win, right?
Right.
So I guess they don't want to expose her yet, which is weird. But they keep trotting out Maxine Dupree out there to botch the shit out of every move she does.
Dude.
So they got no problem exposing her. So I'm not sure why there's quite the double standard. But yeah, that's the only reason I can think that Jade didn't get inserted into this, because if she's not going to win the match, they don't want her pinned already.
Yeah, it makes sense that they would want to protect her. They may have thought that putting her in this match, it'd be a way for her to come in, wreck shop, look strong, still showcase her while protecting her from a performance standpoint by not having to carry a match one-on-one. But then, yeah, there's also that other side that if she's in it and she's not going to win it, then she's got to get pinned by somebody.
Yeah, I mean, and speaking of Beyonce, I almost said Bianca's WrestleMania plans. Like, if Jade had been in this match, I could have seen either them going against each other or deciding that they want to team up together or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that may be the direction we're going in anyway. I kind of hope they're not going to face each other. I think it's way too soon for that. I think you want to build that. But I would really love to see them as a tag team. I think that would be fucking hot shit.
Shop. Give them the first rivalry. Give them who's that? Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler. Give them that right there. First rivalry. Crush them.
Yeah,
I think that the two of them and the I almost said Akari Warriors. Jesus Christ, I'm having a real rough time. The Kabuki Warriors. I think that would be a fucking awesome WrestleMania.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah, it would, and I'm with you on the same boat. I would love to see Bianca and Jade as allies or friends before they become.
Yeah, because then of course they're going to turn. Somebody's going to turn on the other one at some point,
right?
Yeah,
and I don't want to see them do the quick hot shot booking that that people want to see happen. Like, give that time, let that cook, let that simmer for a while before and come up with a story that's actually worthwhile, so that way there's more of a reason to care about it than just Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill.
Yeah,
like give us another reason, more reason to be invested in it. And yeah, they probably did pull her out for the very reason that you said, protecting her in the match and all.
Yeah, the late great Jerry Jarrett said, personal issues draw money. Mm-hmm. So you got to get them. You got to get them in some type of relationship before the relationship could fall apart. Yeah,
the only problem, as much as I want to see it, I'm kind of apprehensive on whether we're going to see it now, given that I don't know that she's going to end up on SmackDown, given that we just saw Braun Breaker sign with SmackDown, and I've kind of maintained the point that these two are being courted pretty much since the Rumble, Breaker and Jade Cargill. So I didn't think that one GM was going to land both of them. I always thought that one of them was going to end up on SmackDown, the other's going to end up on Raw. You wouldn't see one GM pull a clean sweep
it's
and
like
get both of them. Exactly. So since we got Braun Breaker on SmackDown, I'm of the mindset now that Jade Cargill is probably going to end up on Raw. And if that's the case, then there's no space for them to pair up unless they do another draft post WrestleMania and move Bianca back to Raw.
I would expect they will. But I mean, I also, in terms of what brand she's going to, I already said this to you, I think, I wouldn't be surprised to see her be a, quote unquote free agent, like Brock was, where he just shows up wherever he feels like it.
I could see them maybe going that route, but I don't know if I like it, but I could see them doing that if she decides that, okay, both of y'all got good offers, but I think I'm going to just stay a free agent for now and I'll just do my thing.
Even when she's integrated finally into the roster, I don't know that she's going to be there every week. I think she will be when she falls. Like,
they've dragged it out long enough. I don't think she can remain a permanent.
Like Roman Reigns.
No, I know we're not
3 out
talking
of 4
that.
weeks a month, maybe, or something. But
I just don't know if I can see her being like the featured attraction type thing, where like a Logan Paul or something like that, where they just pop in, work a program, gone. I don't think that. I think once she's in, I think she'll be in full time.
Well, I mean, whatever it is, it'll be interesting to see how they end up.
Definitely, whatever they do.
I mean, because like she's gonna have to lose eventually, right? And like when Ronda Rousey finally lost, boy, did the shine come off of that rose real fast.
Yep.
When she became just another wrestler. So it'll be interesting to see if the same fate awaits Miss Cargill or not.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's part of the reason why there's kind of slow rolling this one with her this time, if they're trying to learn from the mistakes that they made with Ronda in terms of her bookings.
Sound like the WWE,
especially with their
mistakes. We don't do that here.
I don't know. I give Paul some credit.
Oh no, I hope so. I mean, I'm a big Jade fan. I really hope she works out. She seems like a great person. So beyond that, it's just the more good wrestlers we have, especially in the women's division, the better.
Mm-hmm.
So let's move on.
I wonder if they have somebody in the creative staff that's like, obviously they probably have some people who kind of somewhat focus on it. I almost wish they would have like just a dedicated person. Like your focus is strictly this, like strictly the women's division or strictly the women's tag division. You focus in on that and just build that out. Well, maybe they have somebody, maybe they don't, but I don't know. Sometimes it seems like they do have somebody that's focusing on it, and then that person gets pulled off. Like, hey, fuck them women. I need you to do work on this Judgment Day storyline right quick.
Finley was that person. I don't know if
he was. Yeah, as far as like their in ring work, yeah, he was that one working with them in the ring, and it showed. I'm talking about just from a creative standpoint, from storyline stuff.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah, let's move on to the next match because this one.
Why didn't we ever get another Evolution pay-per-view?
You're fucking asking me. Heck if I know.
Great question. I wonder why. I don't know. Wonder if they maybe thought it was gimmicky, or if they thought that, all right, it was a one-time thing.
Especially if they're going to stop doing a pay-per-view in December.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why not throw it in December?
Wouldn't be a bad idea, but I don't know.
I mean, it doesn't really even have to forward all that many storylines. I mean, you could just kind of
just be a showcase.
Yeah, just be a show. You know.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. If they were personally, I think I'm of the mindset that I'm good without there being any PLE in December, because I'd rather the wrestlers get their time off at the end of the year and just, rest, recover, come back in January, hit the ground running full speed into WrestleMania. But if they were to throw something in December, I think I would rather see, not to bite off of AEW, but like a crossover type of show that's not about storyline or anything, just purely about spectacle, like a Forbidden Door type thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a WWE versus the World or something.
Japanese company or something.
Yeah, close out the year with some show with New Japan or Stardom or TNA or something, where you just do cross promotional matches. And it's just a showcase. It doesn't have to be about being storylines or this, that, and the third, or what's happening with this or the next show. It's just we're just putting on a show to close out the year.
Yeah, but WWE isn't so much a pro wrestling show anymore as it is a show that has wrestling on it. I think I don't know how much appetite there would be. Now, I mean, I said I already endorsed this as a good idea, but now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know how much of an appetite there would be. I mean, I don't know that you go to WWE looking for work rate or 5-star, expecting to see 5-star matches or whatever. I think their whole thing is that everything is about the story or whatever. In terms of an event itself, I think it would be great, but I don't know if the WWE audience specifically. I don't know how into it they'd be. I'd be into it. You'd be into it.
Mm-hmm. I think.
I don't know.
So guys,
I think some people probably would, but I think the people who appreciate professional wrestling would. those who are just the sports entertainment fans, they probably wouldn't care for it because they'd probably be like, who are these nobodies? Like, who the fuck is Will Ospreay? We don't know who he is. He's a nobody. He's not on Seth Rollins' level. The fuck he ain't. But meanwhile, all the professional wrestling fans will just be foaming at the mouth for like a Will Ospreay versus Ricochet match. But the sports entertainment fans will just be like, oh, Mid Carter versus nobody. I want to see this shit.
So, the Elimination Chamber. I let you guys go on your rant for a while, and then I was like, I'll wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so the Elimination Chamber.
So I bring up Ricochet, and that's like, oh, okay, time to cut this shit
How
off.
did we get here? How did we get here? Anyway, so the next match on the card is Rhea Ripley, the Women's World Champion, versus Nia Jax. Now, this is Rhea Ripley's whole hometown. What's kind of weird, other Australians you don't see on the card here. You don't see.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Bronson
It's not her
Reed.
hometown at all. It's 2 time zones away from her hometown.
Yeah,
Australia's fucking humongous,
right.
and it's like the difference between LA and Boston or something like that.
Right.
Like,
But you
I mean,
think
she's
they
going to
would-
be over huge. It's her home country for sure. I mean,
Right.
she's going to be over like Rover, but it's not her
They would
hometown
put,
at all.
I don't know, Dakota Kai on the card somehow to be there, or Bronson Reed could have been in the Elimination Chamber.
Who's the gawky girl? Indy Hartwell. She's Australian, I think. Right?
That's another one. All off the card. None of them are on it. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
but
sure
who,
they...
and
who
they
you about,
fired
who you about to
Emma.
sacrifice
They
the Indy
fired
Hartwell
Emma
to get
right
booed?
Or they announced this card like a half an hour after they fired Emma last year.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Remember, she tweeted something like, "Oh, this is a dream come true. I can't wait." And then like an hour later, it's like, "Oh, never mind. I just got released."
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude.
That was so dirty.
Oh, brutal.
So somebody saw that tweet and was like, oh, shit. Somebody call her.
Yeah.
Well, WWE
Just on the
does...
like, hey, Emma.
Dude, they do
Saw
stuff
your
like
tweet and about that.
We're gonna
You
fire
didn't book a
on
plane
your
ticket
way.
already, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get a refund because, we're done with you.
Gosh. Yeah, I mean, this is another match. I think that the writing's on the wall. I mean, like, they could swerve us, but I see, she hasn't defended this title in a while, and she seems to be obviously the most over female in the company right now. I mean,
Yeah, and she hasn't really had a great title reign.
No, but
I mean, it's not her fault. She's doing great work, but the opponents just haven't been there for her.
no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The opponents haven't been there. The stories haven't been there.
Yeah.
The stories haven't been there, so...
I guess more that. I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I don't mean to
so...
besmirch.
I mean, I'm sure we're going to get some impressive stuff during this match. We're going to experience Rhea probably picking Nia's ass up. And now that I saw, Jade Cargill do it, I was like, oh, well, Rhea should be able to do it, right? So...
Pick her up, yes.
Scoops
Pull off a
her.
good-looking riptide. It's up for debate.
That is up to debate, man. You're absolutely correct there. And I think they're going to put on a pretty decent match because they've been really pushing Nia. Like, really been pushing her. Like, we just said earlier, like, she beat Becky Lynch clean on Raw. Like,
Bloodied her up.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, when it happened, I was like, oh, shit. Like,
Caught her off the top rope with that dragon punch.
dude, it caught me off guard. Like, I did not think they were going to let her walk away with a W over Becky like that. So, like, it's kind of
And then she
believable
just
they-
came in the ring this past Monday and squashed all the women that were competing in this
Yeah,
Elimination
it's like-
Chamber match.
They brought her
Yeah, that's
up.
what I'm saying. If she
quickly.
almost wins this match, and I kind of think that's how it's going to go, but I'll wait my turn. I could see her weaseling her way into the Rhea or Becky or whoever wins
Yeah,
the chamber.
Tell us now. Like, yeah, what are you thinking, man? Because I mean,
I think this match is pretty boring. Actually, I think the most interesting thing about it is what Dom's reception is going to be.
Oh, yeah, Dirty Dom.
I mean, he's one of, if not the most, gets most heel heat of anybody in the company. And I said before, Rhea's kind of a tweener, but obviously she's going to be a fucking mega babyface here. I'm kind of interested in how the crowd's going to react to Dom. Are they going to boo Dom and cheer Rhea?
Right.
Are they going to cheer for Dom? That's kind of weird.
I'll laugh my ass off if Dom gets like a huge pop.
Yeah. So I'm kind of interested in that. And I mean, and they have done a good job of making Nia look like a monster. And like I said, I expect that she'll have a strong showing here. She'll probably get slammed at some point, but I think she's going to beat the shit out of Rhea, who's going to, summon up the ovarian fortitude, if you will, to prevail in the end. I mean, I guess they could pull off a shocker here, but I just can't imagine they're gonna. But like I said, I think Rhea's going to squeak out a victory, and then Nia's going to throw a fit and get herself inserted into the. Because one of those matches is going to have to be a multi-person match, I would think. There's so many. That's kind of cool that they have so many people that are viable contenders right now. But yeah, but some of these matches I think are going to have to be multi-person, and I think this looks like a spot where it might work.
Mm-hmm.
I could very much see that happening. If there was a match that was going to be turned into a triple threat, I could see the women's world title match being that.
Yeah, because it won't be Bailey. It won't be Bailey and Io.
Oh no, that's absolutely one-on-one.
Yeah.
And it's also kind of hard to imagine Becky pinning Rhea clean or Rhea pinning Becky clean. I would think that they would want to protect the two of them to some extent, and the best way to do that would be to insert a third person into the match and have that person be the one to potentially eat the pin for the other one to win.
I like that idea a lot. A triple threat here for the
and
world
then
title.
Rhea's chasing back the title she never lost.
That she never officially technically was. She was never technically pinned.
She was never beaten.
Title.
Right. The storylines between all three characters very much intertwined. That you could totally pull this off. I mean.
Yeah, because I mean, she
great, right?
I could see on Monday Night on Raw, she comes out. I just beat the shit out of Becky. Like, put me in this match, or I can see her just start wrecking officials or security or whatever. And then Adam Pearce finally, okay, fine, you can be in.
Yeah, after she goes off for like a week or two or something like that, then finally gets inserted.
I'm gonna keep beating people up until you let me in the match. Whatever.
Oh yeah, I could certainly see that happening.
And then maybe she has to win a handicap match or something to get the spot. I don't know, but
yeah, I mean, there's virtually zero chance of Nia Jax winning this match at all whatsoever. Because as nothing against Nia, I love Nia, and I think she's actually put in a lot of genuine work in this second run with WWE. She's shown improvement.
I agree.
She doesn't look anywhere near as reckless in the ring. She's improved her mic work to an extent. I still think it needs some work. I think there's some things she could improve on it, but she's definitely put in the work, and she's definitely better now than she was before. That being said, she's still not WrestleMania main event material, at least not as the champion. As a participant in a match, certainly, but as being the person that the Elimination Chamber winner is having to face, no, you're not putting Nia Jax versus Becky Lynch on the WrestleMania marquee and think anybody's rocking with that. Not when the other option is Becky Lynch versus Rhea Bloody Ripley. The only thing that's really interesting, the only parts of this match that are interesting to me is, one, what is the Riptide going to look like when Rhea Ripley tries to pull that off on Nia? And two, is WWE bold enough to make this match the main event? Which I think, for the record, is no, but I think it should be yes. Because it's Rhea in her home country.
I usually think about things like that, and it didn't even occur to me. Like, they're not going to go Chamber. Oh, but they have that whole Grayson Waller effect segment. So it might be Chamber, tag match, Chamber.
I forgot about the Grayson Waller
tag
effect.
match, Grayson Waller effect, Chamber, Rhea match.
Yeah, and to me, I think that's how it should be. It's in her hometown, and they don't want to run the risk of, well, they should not want to run the risk of the crowd being so freaking hyped up from the Rhea match that they have nothing left for the men's chamber match, especially since the men's chamber match doesn't feature Cody or Seth or anybody else in it really that can garner a massive pop like that. I mean, yeah, Randy Orton, yes, can get a pop, but we'll get to that match when we get to it. But yeah, it would not be a bad decision to make Rhea Ripley's match the last match, so she can have that moment in that pop like what Bad Bunny had at Backlash.
Yeah, I bet they go chamber match, tag team match, Grayson Waller effect, chamber match, Rhea Nia.
Yeah, that's it. I think that would probably be the smart booking. Let her have her moment. Let her main event it. Again, y'all got her on the cover of 2K24. She one of the top women wrestlers in the company, one of the faces of y'all company overall, in her home country. And again, you don't want to burn out your crowd on this match and have nothing left for what you think would be your main event of the men's Elimination Chamber. Let the men take a back seat.
Cool. You guys ready to move on to the main event?
Well, didn't we just decide?
Did we just talk about it?
Yeah, well, I guess. Yeah, I know, right? I would kind of like that to be the main event, but we'll see. We'll see what they do. Who do you guys think? Speaking of the Grayson Waller effect, who do you guys think are going to be on it? Like I saw
Cena and Cody, and then we're almost certainly probably going to get an interruption from the Bloodline.
Yeah, I think
the Grayson Waller effect segment will probably be used to set up the rumored Cody and Seth versus Rock and Roman match at WrestleMania Night 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really see it happening. I mean, I think out of all four of them, I think Cody's the only one really even capable of working 2 nights in a row. Mm-hmm. I don't think Rock has. I don't know if Roman is. Seth's hurt, right? I wouldn't be surprised if this Grayson Waller effect turned into a tag match with Seth and Cody versus Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. That wouldn't surprise me.
Like an impromptu match?
Yes. I think this is. I mean, there's only 4 matches. I looked it up, of course, because of course I did. Mm-hmm. Most Elimination Chamber matches are only about a half an hour, so it's not like a Rumble where mm-hmm. 2.5 hours of that was Royal Rumble match. This is only going to be 1 hour of a 4-match show. So I think that this segment is going to be 20, 25 minutes long.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think
this is going to be a half hour.
They have been going specifically out of the way to say that The Rock is not going to be there. Now, does that mean that doesn't preclude him from appearing? I suppose. But like I said, it's not like the show is in Des Moines. The show is in the other side of the fucking planet. So like, how easily can you get a Rock on the plane and send him over there just to do a run in? But we'll see.
Somebody like The Rock, I think, is probably easier than most because he probably has a private jet.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
And he lives in California, so it's not like he's flying across the United States and then across the Pacific. He could just hop on a private jet, be over in Perth, do his thing, and then head back. And I still believe it's going to be Cody and Seth in some segment involving the Bloodline because nobody else on the Bloodline is booked for the show. And do we really think we're going to get an entire PLE with 0 Bloodline involvement at all? Like no Jimmy, no Jay, no Solo, none of it? I highly doubt that. Like there's going to be something, and I think this is going to be it. And the perfect way to stretch that segment out would be Cody and Seth being out there doing their thing, yada yada. All of a sudden, Roman's music hits, and he has his nice, 15-minute, 10-minute walk to the ring, helps drag it out a little bit longer, and we get a surprise appearance from The Rock. And I think that could potentially set up the match because we know Seth ain't working shit till WrestleMania as far as matches. So that should give him time to heal up and be able to pull off a tag team match with some limited involvement where Cody would probably take the brunt of the beating, and then leave Seth enough in the tank to work his title match night 2. Again, also same thing would apply to The Rock, presumably. He'd work limited somewhat in that match, obviously going back and forth with Roman beating the snot out of Cody. And then Cody and Roman are also probably the one who would do the most heavy lifting in that match would be Cody, as he should, as the future face of the company, probably. So that's where I'm at with it, because I just don't see the crowd getting up for an impromptu Cody Seth versus Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. I don't even think we'll see Austin Theory on the show, really.
Well, Grayson Waller is Australian, obviously, but like I said with Rhea Ripley, he's not from Perth either. He's from he's from Sydney, which is on the other side of the continent. So I think he's going to go. He might get a pop when he comes out, and then he's going to shit all over them. Some local. He's going to make fun of the rugby team, whatever, and he's going to get all the heat back.
Absolutely,
that'll be fun to see anyway.
Oh yeah,
I think he'll get the crowd riled up enough that they'll be thrilled to see him get his ass kicked, and I think that's a good spot for a one-legged Seth Rollins to just kind of hand out a little beating real quick and not
curb stomp
have
his
to do
ass.
much.
Yeah,
but I don't know. See,
he's definitely going to dunk on the crowd because he's got to be able to get some heel heat going before you bring out the baby faces.
Did you see, speaking of Grayson Waller, did you see a couple of weeks ago they sent him and LA Knight to Australia to do some talk show for, publicity for the upcoming pay-per-view?
I didn't see it. What happened?
At the end of it's pretty nice. It's a nice interview. LA Knight was kind of funny. But at the end they have one of the backstage people comes out and he's like bouncing around and he's like, "Oh yeah, do one of your moves. And LA Knight just goes like, "If I did that," they showed like his whatever.
I got it. Do you want me to play
Blood
here?
Force, the BFT.
Yeah.
Let me
they
play
showed
here.
that like whatever. He goes,
I want to think Grayson
Waller.
Waller.
If I did that to you right now, it'd be a real bad day for you.
Yeah.
And then he's like grappling, but Grayson Waller gets pissed. He's like, you're gonna bring us here and then disrespect us, blah blah blah. He gets fucking pissed. I thought it looked like he was gonna take a swing at this camera guy or whoever comes out. He's dancing around like, oh, let's fight, and Grayson Waller gets fucking pissed.
Yeah, here, hold on a second. I got a soundbite from it.
Finishing moves.
Can I give you one?
Yeah, can you not me?
I'll just be over
But
here.
can you show us one of your moves?
No, I think it
Like in the
actually just
studio?
showed on the screen there. If I do that, it's not going to be a good
Maybe
day for
someone in
anybody.
like our
You
floor
guys hear
manager,
that?
maybe he seems
Well,
available.
actually, our floor manager's leaving this week.
Yeah.
And he's sort of, I don't know if...
That's not for me. You want to go ahead and take this one?
Look, you.
Uh-oh.
I don't think you understand. Like, if I come over there right now, we're going to have the police here because I'm not going to give you some fake punch. Like, I'm going to punch you straight in the jaw. The disrespect that you have even talking to me. No, you want to talk to me like this ain't real? Don't act all tough, lad. Don't act all tough.
I'm going to get in the middle of this. You kick back. You kick back. Get him out of there. You get out of there. You get out. I'm so sorry.
No, don't know too mad. You guys come here trying to disrespect us. Are you kidding me?
I'm not disrespecting you.
You're all right, mate. No, we love you.
Hey, you take that trash talk and you get out of here. Hey, you get out of here. You take that trash talk. You get out. I won't have these guests disrespected like that, Mitch. You get out.
You're tough,
Oh.
I never thought you were tough.
Now, can you wrap this up?
Hold your pants tight. Okay, thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming in.
I'm not entirely sure.
Meanwhile, LA Knight just sitting there all awkward, not saying a fucking word.
He was like, "Oh, this one left."
Dude,
I'm not getting involved in Australian crime.
You just wanted him just to once. Yeah. Yeah, it's just funny because I was like, "Oh shit! Wait, I just pull it up right here." Yeah, that was interesting.
One other thing that I've had in the back of my head since Seth got involved in all of this, and I still can't quite figure out why. I wonder, I don't know when. I guess it could happen as soon as Saturday. I am expecting that Seth is going to turn on Cody somewhere. It might be after WrestleMania. It might be at WrestleMania. It might be right before but I think Seth. I want Seth to turn on Cody at some point during this. I think that would be awesome. Because Seth's a snake in the grass, man. He's backstabbed every single person he's ever been a partner with, and Cody gets turned on by every single person he's partnered up with. So,
all right. Well, I kind of want to put
my eye on Seth Rollins.
Let's put.
We're definitely going to get us. The Seth Cody story definitely isn't over by any means, but I still think we're probably a good ways off from seeing the return of heel Seth. I think this current face run he's on is going a bit too well for him. But ultimately, when he does ever turn heel again, it almost certainly will be at the expense of Cody Rhodes.
Right. Well, let's put a pin on that real quick so we can knock out this last prediction, because it's literally I think it's gonna lead into what we're trying to get to here.
Most people have the wrong impression about the World Wrestling Federation. We're a non-violent form of entertainment.
We never use sex to enhance our image.
How's that? We're good, wholesome family entertainment. We're trying to make the world a better place for mankind.
WWF attitude.
Get it?
Yeah, Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton versus Bobby Lashley versus LA Knight. Yeah. Versus KO, Kevin Owens, and United States Champion Logan Paul. I think this is going to be the highlight match of the night. I mean, really, for the world title, for a shot at the world title at WrestleMania, this could really go to any one of these guys. But at the end of the day, I'm pretty bent on it going to Drew McIntyre. I think right now they've been pushing Drew very hard. Like, he hasn't lost any matches. He's been just full momentum. He's just internet trolling like crazy, like Doyle said. Like, this guy's all over the place. Like, his heel turn, he's going to get his moment. I just saw, this is one of those benefits of a wrestler getting injured, is where another one can step in and take that spotlight. And, Drew McIntyre finally having his WrestleMania moment. Mm-hmm. He's gonna be able to slide in there and get his moment and, be done with it. So he's going to win the Chamber, and he's going to be the guy to beat Seth, or, who I'm pretty sure it's Seth. Like, the storyline between the tension and the storyline between those two, it's perfect. Like, we've seen it before, but this is a different Drew. This is heel Drew. I wish they would call him they used to call him when he was a heel, the Scottish psychopath. So they don't call him that no more. I wish they would.
Yeah, I mean, he's not really acting psychotic right now. He's just acting more like just a big troll.
Yeah, that's true. Logan Paul's the only guy going in here with a title and leaving with the title. I see him being the guy to be last out in a pod, kind of biding his time, and then maybe everybody waiting for him outside the pod kind of deal. Because he has a lot of enemies in this match specifically. I don't know why Bobby Lashley's even in here. He's the one I thought maybe this would have been a good spot for Bronson Reed to be in. But I kind of didn't understand that he was feuding with Karrion Kross.
Yeah, Bronson Reed has no credibility yet as a title challenger. Bobby Lashley, at least, even with the direction or lack of direction of his current clip with Street Profits, Bobby Lashley is a permanent title contender. Pretty much. He has that credibility that he could show up at any moment and challenge for a title. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what earns him the spot in this match. Even if we all know that he stands literally zero chance of winning this one, he's probably just in there just because of his credibility and they need a strong man in the match to do some power spots.
Right. I feel like we kind of know a lot of these guys where they're heading to for WrestleMania. Like, I think Cross's stable and Bobby Lashley and Street Profits are gonna feud at WrestleMania. I think that's what they're kind of leading towards. We kind of know where Drew McIntyre is heading. I don't know what's going on with Orton or KO. I don't know where these two are heading towards WrestleMania. I kind of don't know. I had a shoulder shrug. Like, where do these two guys go? I really think, and I said this a long time ago, and there's more and more whispers of it, and I think we're going to fucking get it. I think we're going to get super heel Logan Paul versus super face LA Knight.
Oh, yeah.
LA Knight's going to win his first title at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is where the seeds of that will be further planted.
Right?
Yeah,
like
I think
Logan Paul
I think we kind of
LA
been
Knight or
expecting this pretty much since he lost to Roman.
Yeah.
When he at Crown Jewel. And we've kind of all expected, like, okay, if they're not putting the world title on him, then he needs some credibility. He needs to maintain his momentum till WrestleMania when he wins the U.S. title. So, yeah, that'll probably begin here in the Elimination Chamber match.
Right? Isn't it nice that kind of tracks out from like months of us, discussing it? Like, we kind of foresaw that. And it's not like Roman Reigns' title reign, like where we know this man's holding it until WrestleMania. That predictable. This one wasn't as predictable, this feud, coming up, but it just seemed like it's just the perfect feud because of how over one guy is and how hated another guy is. But yeah, let's get in the conversation. Dre, who do you think is going to win this Elimination Chamber match? Is it obvious for you too?
Yep. Logan Paul, there for high flying spots. Bobby Lashley, there for power spots. Randy Orton, there because he's a big face. LA Knight, there because he's a big face and to give the impression that somebody else could win. Who am I leaving out? Let's say Paul, Lashley,
KO.
Also in there to be a credible big face. So you got 4 people in there with actual quote unquote credibility as a big face to possibly win. But realistically, it's going to be Drew. Okay, he's the one that's on the path towards a match with Seth at, again, WrestleMania. It's nice that they like to include people from both SmackDown and Raw, but we know it's going to be somebody from Raw because y'all ain't about to drag somebody off SmackDown over to Raw to feud for the next couple weeks with the Raw champion going into WrestleMania. Y'all just not going to do that. So that immediately wipes out Logan Paul, Bobby Lashley, and Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. That's 4 people wiped off immediately because that's all SmackDown talent. So then you got Drew and why am I struggling to remember these fuckers' names that are in this match? Probably because I think the fact that I'm struggling to remember the names kind of speaks to how predictable this shit is. Because we all know that this is just a vehicle for Drew McIntyre to win. And then you got Drew on Raw, Seth on Raw, and they're both going to be going at it going into WrestleMania, at least for the title. While Seth is also playing double duty of being Cody's wingman in his feud with the Bloodline, which is going to stretch Seth probably too thin and hopefully, in my opinion, finally make him weak, quote unquote, enough to lose the title to Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. Paint by numbers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doyle, are you thinking the same thing?
Yeah, I mean, I got there a little different, but
tell us, man. Tell us your journey.
Well, in some ways, like, it's the opposite of the women's match, right?
Okay.
Because, like, I don't see Seth. I'm assuming Seth stays a babyface, so I don't think he's going to face a babyface at WrestleMania. So you can throw out 2/3 of the competitors just on that alone, right? And even if he didn't do that, Bobby has his stupid feud with Karrion Kross and his stupid group, So I don't see him going away from that. I don't really. Yeah, again, I think we're kind of all puzzled by what's going forward with KO and Randy Orton. I don't think they gain anything from fighting a fellow babyface that's of questionable health either.
Right.
I think they're going to use this match to set up LA Knight and Logan Paul. We said that. And really, that just leaves Drew.
Jesus, Drew is the only Raw person in this match.
Right? Isn't that weird?
The fuck?
For a title shot at the Raw, World Heavyweight title?
Yeah, I'm not so hung up on that. But I mean, yeah, his heel run has been pretty great the last couple of weeks. He kind of got off to a rocky start with that. Dre, I think you were particularly critical. I believe you called him a whiner quite a bit, and I'm not saying you're wrong. But like, I feel like, and I feel like the announcers, by and large, have not been doing a great job in terms of pushing the narrative forward on some of these things. Like, I think in years past, like they would have been like, what a dastardly thing to not help out Cody while he's getting, like how despicable. But and they didn't really do that. It didn't make it clear that he was turning bad in the first place. And then he was kind of whiny. You're absolutely right. But the last couple of weeks, great fucking promos. As I said earlier, he's been a fucking online troll, and that's like such a great use of social media by a wrestler. The last few weeks, he's been really, really fun. So he's one of the hottest heels in the company. And I mean, you could argue that Bobby has like a WrestleMania makeup coming to him, because of what happened last year. But I think Drew is even more deserving of one, and has been waiting longer. Waiting to win the title in front of a crowd, and almost beating Roman Reigns and getting screwed out of that. The only thing about Drew, though, is that he supposedly has his contract coming up and he has not re-signed. Now, I don't know if any of that's true. Who the hell knows?
Right.
He's being advertised for events that happen after his contract is supposedly up. So, of course, take it with a grain of salt. But he's also been, continuing this feud with CM Punk, who's not supposed to be back for 6-8 months or whatever. So that seems like a curious thing for a guy that's not going to be around to continue to push, And that's kind of like where sometimes I kind of wish we didn't know some of this stuff, I wish I wasn't thinking about Drew's contract when I'm trying to decide who I think is going to win. So, and who the fuck knows if any of that is true or not. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, Drew's really the only person that makes any sense to win this match.
Right.
So I think that's a clean sweep.
Yeah, I mean, think about the offer they probably just made him. Like, I mean, we kind of heard about this for a while that, like, oh, he hasn't re-signed. And I think I've been sprinkling it in for a couple months now.
But, like, who knows if any of that's even true? Like,
exactly. But even if it wasn't, like, the whole situation with CM Punk, and now he might, hey, we'll give you your world title win at WrestleMania against Seth Rollins. Like, if you stay. Like, because let's face it, if he would, let's say he would leave and go to AEW, like, Drew's not the type of guy who's going to, like, thrive in AEW. Like, there isn't many WWE wrestlers who go over there and thrive anymore. I mean, ugh. I just think
people just get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, I just think
honestly,
exactly.
I think he's already signed.
Yeah, I think so too. I think if they're giving this guy an Elimination Chamber spot, possibly a world title match, like, dude, come on. They ain't giving you a world title match unless you re-signed. Come on.
Yeah, I think he has already re-signed. I think all that speculation and stuff that's coming on dirt sheets, I think it's WWE deliberately putting out false information. Mm-hmm. I think because there's been some recent rumor coming out, or I say rumor, but some speculation that WWE has, I guess, found out who the leaker is in their company, or who leakers are in their company, and are kind of deliberately giving false information either to them or something so that it gets put out there in a way to mislead the audience, to try to keep some of their things secret. Because I believe this past Monday that there was a strong perception that Jay was going to win the title. How anybody thought that really seriously, I don't know, but it was put out there a lot that Jay's actually going to win. And I think that was deliberate by WWE to try to throw people off of what common sense should have told them, that no, Gunther's not dropping the fucking title.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that could be, I think WWE is playing this game now of putting out deliberate false information in order to try to throw people off the trail of what is seemingly the obvious things. So they're keeping things like, they're deliberately putting out there that Drew hasn't signed a deal or there's no word about it. When realistically,
Seth and Becky are supposed to be up soon too.
Yeah, that they're up soon, or these people haven't resigned. When anybody with common sense is like, yes, they've signed. Of course they've signed. They're not investing all this into Drew for a guy whose contract could be up the day after WrestleMania or something like that. Mm-hmm. Obviously he signed. Seth and Becky, obviously they have signed. Again, they're the top faces in the company.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's
going
not like
anywhere
baseball,
else.
The NFL, where like contracts are public knowledge. You know,
yeah,
like we have no idea what these people are making or how their shit works.
Yeah, there's no union. There's no players union, no wrestlers union or anything like that negotiates these things like that.
There's no salary cap.
Mm-mm. And for Seth and Becky, there's nothing that any promotion or any independent scene can offer that can match what they're getting right now in the WWE or what they can stand to gain in the WWE. Still, obviously, they're not going any fucking where.
Right.
And I think, and like the whole thing with going back to the Grayson Waller effect, I think it's probably deliberately being put out there. Oh, The Rock can't make it. Oh, The Rock doesn't have time. So that way, if you smell hits, you're surprised.
Yes.
Like, oh shit, he actually made it. Duh. So honestly, I think that's the game that WWE is playing right now. I think they're deliberately leaking or putting out false information to their leakers to try to throw people off the trail of what is seemingly obvious things coming into play going into WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're definitely leaking stuff that's not true, but I feel like that's been going on since the dawn of time, or since the dawn of the internet wrestling community, anyway.
Oh yeah, I think that's very valid as well. I think they may just be, I don't know if it's more savvy at it right now is the thing, or more bold with it, or what have you. But
well, I mean, the business isn't nearly as protected as it once was. You know what I mean? Like, like 40 years ago,
kayfabe was
babyface didn't go to the same restaurant or the same bar, or they didn't socialite or whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a totally different world now.
Right. Everybody knows what the fuck Ray looks like.
Yeah.
Oh shit. All right. Well, I got a question for the episode, so here we go.
Would you like to answer a question right at this particular time? Would you like to do that?
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Can I ask a question, Macho Man? More questions. I'm sorry about that.
All right, Andrea writes in, and if you want to be just like Andrea and write into us, we'll answer some wrestling questions. Just go onto our website, and there's a submit button, an area there you can submit a question. She says, did you guys know that the pay-per-view starts at 4:30 in the morning? Who's going to be up at 4:30 in the morning to watch it? All right. Well, it's funny that she asked that. Who's willing to be up at like 4:30 to watch it? I get up every day at 3:30 in the morning, so I could be up, but it is my one Saturday off in a long time, so I don't know. I don't know. I think I might just try to sleep in, maybe 6, 7 o'clock. Maybe I'll turn it on and try to watch them from the beginning. But one thing I do hate about these kind of pay-per-views is like trying to avoid spoilers all day. I'm pretty sure you guys had it before. Some of our Saudi shows and stuff, if you just can't make it to the pay-per-view on time, because it's like smack in the middle of a day on like a Saturday or something, it's like you got to stay off your phone all day. It's like, because the way, the WWE is, it's like we need to post everything all the time, every minute, everything that's happening on every social media network with every hashtag available. So it's like I gotta avoid my phone until I can watch it. So
yeah, it doesn't really bother me. Like
the spoilers,
there's no chance in hell I'm going to get to this before. I don't know. I might not even watch it Saturday at all. Tell you the truth.
Oh man!
But like, I will certainly, when I sit down to watch it, know everything that's going to happen. Like, and I don't care. That doesn't bother me. I don't go out of my way to avoid spoilers. Or in fact, I will generally kind of go see what the spoiler is.
Mm-hmm. I spoiled Raw for him this past Monday.
I think, but we all already think we know what's going to happen, right? So if nothing else happens, are we going to be that surprised?
Right.
But, I mean, you go down to watch an Avenger movie, you know that they're going to win. You know what I mean? Like, so, knowing what's going to happen there's a certain amount of okayness for me with that. The getting there is just as interesting as the there for me. Like, okay, I know so-and-so's going to win, but, what happened? They almost dropped them on their head on that one. You say, or you could clearly hear them call on the spot. I like to watch for that kind of shit, even if I know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Am I getting up for this at 4 o'clock in the morning? Hell to the nah.
When I was younger, I sometimes would just be getting home. But those days are gone.
Right, certainly. Am I getting up for this? No. But what I am going to do, because this is my 3-day weekend, fortunately, after tomorrow, I'll be off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wake up on Saturday. I'm going to cook myself a nice breakfast. I'm not going to get on social media or anything. Just cook myself a nice breakfast, and then I'll sit down and watch the PLE at my normal Saturday morning time.
That sounds
I haven't been spoiled of anything, but just be able to enjoy it fresh without seeing any posts or any complaints or bitching or moaning or whatever that the internet has to say about what happened on the show. And I'll watch it as it is happening, and then I'll go see what the hell everybody's crying about.
Crying about? Yeah, I guess. We'll see. But yeah, dude, like, I think I'm going to do exactly what you're doing. Is just maybe just sleep in, and then when I wake up, just make a nice breakfast. Because, I don't know, man, watching a pay-per-view in the morning, eating breakfast, that hits different. It's different than the ordering the pizza, drinking beer, watching pay-per-view at night. It's
exactly. As opposed to the Saturday night pizza in front of it. Nah, it's a nice, good breakfast, and then cut on the PLE.
Hell yeah.
And see what happened a couple of hours ago.
See, and that's why I don't think anything, especially with The Rock, is going to happen, because I just don't see it happening at 5 in the morning.
Yeah, you're right, dude. I totally agree. Because that's not going to break social media records if it's happening when everybody's asleep in America.
Right.
So, before we go, you guys want to plug anything? Doyle, you want to plug anything?
Yes. Well, you can find me in the Discord there, the PCL and PCW ones, and like the Facebook page.
Yeah, the Facebook page. Dre, you got anything you want to plug?
Just as always, you can find me in the same Discourse, PCL, PCW. If you happen to be a PCL Patreon subscriber, I was on their recent Patreon episode where we went over a bunch of very random questions, which was very fun and good time had by all.
Dude, cool. Yeah, and
I'll have to listen to that. I'm still paying Brian, what is it, $6 a month or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I never listen to that.
oh man. I miss their podcast. I wish they would come back full time.
Yeah.
I miss it dearly. I miss pop culture.
I don't know. I don't know what to watch anymore.
I know. I just listened to an old episode the other day. I listened to the Avengers Infinity War episode, which is crazy. How much they got right when they think about Endgame, like the next movie. How much they got right. It's a good listen. Go back to and listen to the Infinity War episode.
I was sitting there thinking, like, was I on that episode? Like, no, I wasn't.
It was.
I was on the Black Panther episode.
Yeah, it was.
And I
Jake,
think I did the Endgame episode.
Rebecca and Dan West. Rebecca Daly and Dan West. So it was pretty good. But the only thing I got to plug is like WrestleMania's coming. And if you don't have your PCW shirt, you gotta go on to ProWrestlingTees.com and look under Podcast Championship Wrestling. Get yourself a shirt. I got mine. I love it. So
that's the thing to plug. If you're going to be at WrestleMania, let us know.
The jacket because it's going to be cold.
Yeah.
If you're going to be at WrestleMania, let us know because we'll be there.
Yep. So, yeah. All right, guys. Let's dip out of here. Here we go.
All right.
Later.
Later.
Go Bees, go C's.